Merry Christmas and welcome to day 16 of the Malkat Gin Christmas Reviews. Tonight, something quite different but also appropriate for this time of year. We are reviewing the New York Cocktail Infusion mixer, which comes in this pretty box with these 3 bottles.
And this is the gin version.
This is the gin version. This was a Secret Santa gift from, I don't know, a couple of years ago probably.
And you don't know because it's Secret Santa.
It's Secret Santa, so yeah. So, you know, you might get one of these or you might give one of these in a Secret Santa. We're kind of interested to see what it's like.
Yeah, it's been sitting around for a bit.
Yeah, so the idea is you've got all these dry bits in the bottle. You add your spirit. In this case, this is a gin set, so these are all gin cocktails. We have the Negroni, Singapore Sling, and the Tom Collins. And it comes with its own little strainer. Because what you've got to do is you've got to put the alcohol in, leave it for 3 to 5 hours, and then strain it into a cocktail glass.
And you put them in the fridge while they're
doing their thing.
We will add gin, and then we will come back.
In 3 to 5 hours.
Which actually is going to be tomorrow.
If we can get into them.
If we can get into them. Running with scissors. Woohoo!
The other thing we're going to do, because we do like Negroni, is we will actually make a real Negroni and do a bit of a comparison. The gin we're using is London Hill. This is one that we quite like as quite a good mixer and cocktail gin. Fairly clean, crisp London Dry. The only thing I'd say is that's quite a small bottleneck. And that's got a small bottleneck, and pouring one into the other, you could end up with gin all over your bar. So a small funnel might be in order.
Here's one I prepared earlier. There's a lot of sugar in those, and it's quite crystal sugar.
So here we go. Lids back on.
You're going to need a good shake.
Ooh, make sure those lids are on tight though.
Tight like a toilet.
Here we go.
Good action.
Done.
And I think it's a really good thing that comes with this because you can tell.
It's going to need a good strain, so that's a fine mesh strain. Quite handy.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow and we'll see what these are like.
Put them in the fridge.
Yeah.
And actually end up with quite a bit of flavour over 24 hours.
I hope so. And we're back. And here we have our 3 mixed cocktails and our glasses all set up. As a comparison, we've made ourselves our normal Negroni. As a reminder, it's equal parts gin, Campari, or in this case we use Aperol, and sweet vermouth. So let's get into it.
A word of warning about these little bottles. When you shake it up, the liquid comes out a little bit and it's quite sticky.
Yeah, here's our Negroni, and there's quite a lot of
Negroni there. That would be 2 glasses really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we won't use all of it. It's roughly the right colour, and there's quite a lot in it. You know, that's not bad. There's quite a strong taste of spices in it. You can see in the bottle there's quite a lot of stuff.
And we've basically done this for 24 hours rather than the 3 to 5.
Yeah.
And a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar. There's cinnamon and nutmeg in there by the taste of it. But certainly, I mean, it's not your classic Negroni, but it's almost like a Christmas Negroni.
Oh, true. Christmas Negroni.
Yeah.
It's not going to have those 2 other spirits you have in a Negroni. It's literally just flavoured gin.
It's not terrible. I'd drink that. And I am. So shall we move along? So here's number 2, and this is our Singapore Sling. So this one says to serve in a Collins glass or highball, which this is what that is.
Big one. That's what she said.
This one, it says to top up with some pineapple juice.
I said you could. So
You
do
could.
we want to try it without and then add it?
Okay.
We'll just see.
We'll just see. All right.
I think the pineapple juice is optional. I'll be wrong.
It tastes coconutty to me.
I don't know. It's got a lot of sugar.
Yeah. Well, let's try the pineapple juice in terms of sugar.
No,
No.
I don't like that. But I've never had a normal Singapore Sling.
Here's our cocktail Bible, the Savoy Cocktail Book by Harry Craddock. It's one of the go-to cocktail Bibles for bartenders. The Singapore Sling contains the juice of a quarter lemon, 1/4 dry gin, and 1/2 cherry brandy. Shake well, strain into a medium-sized glass and fill with soda water. Add 1 lump of ice.
I've got shaken 250 Very Sexy Cocktails, published in 2004. This one says, created around the eve of World War One, this is the drink that made Singapore's Raffles Hotel famous. 1.5 ounces of gin, half an ounce of Benedictine, half an ounce of Cointreau, half an ounce of cherry, 1 ounce of orange juice, 1 ounce of pineapple juice, a dash of lime juice, a dash of grenadine, maraschino cherry.
The thing to remember, so this was produced in 1930s. The other thing to remember is cocktail recipes do change over time. So I've heard bartenders talk about sort of the classic recipe versus the modern recipe. And that could simply be the difference, because that's a reasonably modern book. Last, we have the Tom Collins. And that's where the Collins glass gets its name. There's your bottle.
So much sugar still left in there. It wasn't even dissolved.
There's quite a lot of gin that goes into those 3 bottles. So they're quite boozy. Try it straight before we add anything to it. I can tell from the wrinkled, screwed up nose that
it's so sweet and syrupy.
Now we're going to add some soda to this, because Collins, traditionally, you would top with soda. Here we are with soda. It's not as bad.
Better.
It's better. Damned by faint praise.
What does a Tom Collins have in it normally?
So, shall we review what the books say about the Tom Collins?
It has 1.5 ounces of gin, 1 ounce of lemon juice, half an ounce of sugar syrup, soda water, and a stemmed cocktail cherry.
In the OG Harry Credit book. Now, the Tom Collins is such a classic. It has its own chapter in the book, and it is the juice of half a lemon, half a tablespoonful of powdered sugar. Now, in the old days, they used powdered sugar or cane sugar instead of sugar syrup. Powdered sugar being icing sugar. 1 glass dry gin. They use a lot of measurements that are glasses, and the glass is like a little wine glass, effectively. And so 1 glass of dry gin would be like that much. Equivalent of a couple of ounces, I would say. Shake well, strain into a long tumbler, Collins glass. Add 1 lump of ice and split of soda water, which is what we've done there. My take on the 3, and you might disagree, but my take on the 3 is not a Negroni, but drinkable. Not a Singapore sling, and not very nice.
No.
And not a Tom Collins, and the jury's out.
I just had it again, and I went through all 3, and I thought, actually, out of all 3, this is the one I like, but I don't think it's actually anything like a Tom Collins should be.
Whereas that's probably the one I like, and it's not anything like a Negroni should be. So there we go.
And if this had another ice cube, I think this would be my favourite.
Of course it would, because it's a real Negroni. I think the other thing we're realising is that when you looked at how much gin we put in each of these,
they're really boozy.
That's a lot of booze.
This is a 1 review night.
Yeah.
I don't think that you'd be giving this to a person that is like a home bartender. You know, someone who's really...
someone who is a real cocktail connoisseur. This is to cocktails what 2 years to craft beer. This is our review of the New York cocktail mixer set.
I think it's designed to just get you drunk.
I know what you wanted to say. Look, hey, maybe for a bit of fun, get it for someone for their secret Santa. And then film them. Anyway, Jinners and winners.
Ho, ho, ho.